Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Reina, the Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And no, you do not need to adjust your screen. Hair looks a little different, outfit looks a little different. Yeah, I'm channeling Black Widow for Halloween, so you get to see pretty much what my costume is going to look like on Sunday. So I figured I'd share it with you guys again here, like I did on Toxic Femininity earlier on in the week. So with that said, folks, we have an amazing guest. Of course, they're all amazing, but I think they're all amazing. But we definitely have somebody I've been trying to get on here for quite some time, and that is Syl Abdul. So we're going to be talking to him in a little bit. But before we start talking to Syl, let me bring up my co-host, He-Man in South Park. What's up?
Hey, it's He-Man time. We're here to talk about episode 2 of the Kevin Smith series.
Next week.
Oh, God, it's next week. It's next week.
I'm sorry. I keep thinking that Stan, Kyle, and Kenny are going to go rolling back.
I'm actually outside Shitty Walk right now because I want some really shitty beef.
Okay.
Shitty beef.
Okay. It's CHITT. Don't mistaken it.
Yeah. What I call Panda Express sometimes.
I thought that was Galaxy's Edge. What was the hotel?
The Galactic Star Cruiser.
Oh, the Galactic Brick. Yes.
Yeah, which actually sold out for its first week, but whatever. Some folks got it like that. No, will not be me.
That's where stimulus check money went. All right.
Yeah, I'm waiting until triple coupon day before I show up on that.
Well, it's Friday. It's almost the end of the month. Then we're getting into November and then Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm excited because it's a week before my birthday.
Yeah, well, speaking of birthdays, it's Lethal Lightning's today as well. So happy birthday,
Is it Lethal?
Yeah, Lord Dawn's
birthday.
Happy
birthday, Mike.
I don't know what that was.
Lethal's awesome. That was my attempt at a very, very bad Australian.
Crikey.
So happy birthday to Lethal though. So cool. So that means he's Scorpio season like me. No wonder I like Lethal. But yeah, my birthday is actually next Saturday, but we're going to be celebrating it on Friday's show. So that's going to be great. I have the day off. It's gonna be an absolute blast. But speaking of an absolute blast, don't want to keep our guests waiting in the back. So let me introduce to folks and reintroduce to others Syl Abdul, how are you doing, my dear?
All right. I'm very excited to be here. Love your show and your viewers. So we're here to hang.
Absolutely,
And Fat Steve.
absolutely. Yeah, Fat Stephen. I tried to keep you rock.
I love y'all back and forth. Like I love your interaction. This is awesome. I tell you.
Is he shrinking?
No, no. I see. Fat Stephen has this little self-esteem issue.
Yeah, because I put fat in my name and I have a self-esteem issue. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Can we get
You're
some
real
thin
comfortable.
jokes in the chat, please? Some thin jokes in the
Not
chat.
as funny.
Yes, they are. Well, I'll tell you how funny that joke is after I throw up my dinner.
This is not the supermodel show.
It is. It is. It's supermodel Asmer. Oh, that's Cindy Crawford over there.
I think that was a joke on In Living Color where they're like, "What did you have for dinner?" And she like threw it up, and she's like, "Well, let's see. I had this. I had this." Oh, God, it was freaking.
I had one noodle, a
think I
piece of
remember that,
onion, and
yeah.
half a carrot.
That was funny. Back when comedy was not safe, and it was actually funny to.
You could
to
go
all
there
laugh at
with
each
it.
other. Yeah, repeatedly. Well, let me say hello to our amazing chat. First off, gotta say hello to my girl for the
Oh,
99
it's a great
cent
name.
super sticker, diamond super sticker. My girl was on the show yesterday with Fat Stephen. We were dissecting,
Yeah, that's the word.
decomposing,
Yeah, that's the decomposing sound.
re-scrambling it, rewriting it, whatever.
It's the
Season
only
one
show.
of He-Man.
Yeah.
No, we'll say that Masters of the Universe
Yeah,
Revelation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So we started with the first episode. So she was on there,
It's the only show where you need to drink Pepto Bismol before the credits.
more like a couple shots of Jack.
No, Jack don't fix that, nor would I insult Jack by introducing it to
Ugh.
that thing.
Well,
No, I
both.
want to
Do
forget.
both.
I don't want to have
Dude.
indigestion. Yeah, there you go.
What do
There
you
you
call
go.
Jack and Pepto mixed together? Try to drink that cup there, so
Not
come
at the
on, you
same
can do it.
time. Not the same
No.
time.
I think you're like mixing it up. It's like ketchup and
No,
vodka,
you
like
don't-
from
you
Risk
don't really
Adventure.
want to do that. Hey, CJ, how you doing? He says TGIF. CJ
Yes.
is the guy who does the amazing thumbnails for my channel, which
Oh,
reminds
dope.
me, I owe him a laundry list by the time I get off the show today, finish work.
Do
So
good
good
work,
to see you,
CJ.
my dear. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome. He kills it. I have zero artistic ability whatsoever.
Me
So
too.
early on, I outsourced that. I'm like,
Yep.
no. And even when I tried to do it myself, he's just like, you just ask me, right? I'm like, okay, well, I know you're busy. He's like, no, it's okay. Just
That's
tell
when
me.
you know they're
Like,
free, like they're good friends. They're like, you know what, we got you. Like, we know you're doing your thing. We got you. So
Yeah.
that's cool. That's
Extremely
cool.
lonely.
Yeah. He's
I.
got me. He's got me. I appreciate the heck out of that. We have Keely Chow who says, "Hey everybody, good morning." Well, good morning to you, Keely, and
What's up?
roll tide as always when you come on
I
in
went
here.
to college, UAB, Alabama, Birmingham. Not the Alabama, but still, I get it. The road tide thing, I get it.
Not Bama, but
But we was down there.
there's always that difference. It's like you have to say Bama apostrophe BAMA. That's when people know what you're
Big
talking about.
difference. I'm not an Auburn fan though. I'll give y'all that. I'm not an Auburn fan, so I think we good. I think we're good.
Yeah, you're right. Just don't don't mention Auburn. Well, hello, Zachariah 315 says howdy, Lorena, Fat Steven Seagal. Hello to you. Hello to you. I think he's saying hello to folks early, right before the show started. And we have Arwen Avalon, my other Southern Belle sister, who says afternoon, y'all. Well,
Afternoon. Love the South.
you
Love the
too.
South.
Love it, love it, love it. And you know what? I didn't even retweet the link to my own show.
I already retweeted it, but you do it too, and
That's
we got you.
that's pretty bad because usually I'll schedule it ahead of time
I gotta start doing that too, like scheduling tweets.
because you can only do it on your desktop.
right,
You can't
exactly.
do it on your on your phone, which I
Mhm.
think is ridiculous. I think they're just too lazy to do it.
Like-
Just like Twitter's too lazy to give us an edit button.
I'm Come on now.
They could do it. They could do it. They just don't. They just want to see us clowning ourselves.
Want you to struggle and do another 120
Mhm.
characters again. We gotta
Do a
delete
record with
something.
that.
Yeah.
Crazy. Fat Stevens, welcome, and everybody says hello, people. And we have Kaylee D who's waving and saying, hey. Kaylee is amazing in the fandom. I love how she just like shouts out everybody's links. When people go live, she's always so helpful. She's an amazing, amazing, amazing supporter. So thank you so much, my dear, for being here. And let's see. Yes, please do smack that like, And I see Ram Bam 3000 is in the chat. Where did you go, my dear? You were here and then you kind
There's
of
more
went
than one
away.
Alabama.
There you
More than
go.
one Alabama. No, there's only one, like the Alabama university.
There's
Yeah.
Alabama.
I was at Alabama Birmingham. That's my alma mater.
Technically, there is two Alabamas. There's the real Alabama, and there's what Hollywood perceives as Alabama, which usually falls with Deliverance Banjo.
I'll just agree with that.
Yeah.
So,
That's Hollywood for you.
Mhm.
Yes, please do smash that like. And let's see. We have your Muslim uncle. Well, hello. How are you doing, my dear? And please tell Sufi Mom I said hello. She says hello, Lorena Creole and Salamato, who I think is someone new to my chat. And I'm trying to find your tweet. I'm trying to find your tweet here, Salamato. Maybe you didn't tweet yet. Maybe you didn't chat yet. Let's see. But good to see you here. And let's see. We have. Hold on a second. Keely says we're going to celebrate both Lethal Lightning's birthday and Halloween tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central on the full Aussie.
Awesome.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna be a hoot.
Oh, Lethal's my dude. Like he was one of the first people that kind of gave me some pointers about content creating. So like yeah, happy birthday to Lethal for real. Live it up. Lethal.
Yeah.
The more bikinis on a thumbnail, the higher the viewer audience. That's the philosophy right there.
And Rogue Disney says, howdy, y'all. Well, howdy to you too, Rogue Disney. Glad you are here. Glad you are here with us. Yes, and Living Color was freaking awesome. That was lightning in a bottle. I think Mad TV was probably
second best. Yeah.
Second. Yeah. Just because Living Color was first.
You had that Jim Carrey skit with him as Vanilla Ice, and he's redoing the song while his shoes are flying off.
Yeah,
then you had Fire Marshal Bill.
I thought that was Jamie Vanilla Ice when I saw that.
Yeah, remember there was also Jim Carrey in that warrior bikini who kept spitting in Jamie Foxx's face.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
That's like classic stuff right there, man.
Comedy.
Oh my goodness. See, that's why Dave Chappelle, like he's from that era. Like
he is.
He grew up watching The Living Color like we did. And he's still carrying it on to now. So
did you guys ever see the one skit where Carrie played death on vacation and he started just having shots with that couple and just killing everyone different ways and the whole rest of the restaurant? We're going to Tijuana. No.
Oh my goodness. Jim Carrey, rare form on that show. Jim Carrey, man. Oh my god.
Very, very, very rare form. I mean, before they even had, the idea of the quote unquote masculine feminist, they were still doing stuff like that on In Living Color.
Exactly.
Hey, Theme Park Casual. So glad to see you, my dear, that you're here. We've got 13 folks in here watching, and Syl Abdul is our guest. So, got to ask you the benchmark questions. What are your memories of lunchtime at school?
My memories of lunchtime at school is that I always hoped it was pizza. That was like every time it was lunchtime, I was like, is it pizza or do I get chocolate milk? And if I didn't have those things, it was like underwhelming lunch. But that's the first thing that popped in my head, like when you asked that.
So what kind of pizza did you have? Was it square pizza or was it round pizza?
It was a square pizza. At that time, I was in school in Michigan, the great Midwest state of Michigan. And we got square pizza. When we got it, it was square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. rectangle, actually, which is really a square, you know.
Just like a little bit longer to make it seem like, they're trying to give you extras. Like, no, we don't really want extra of of the cardboard cardboard
But like
box
that,
pizza.
that was my days though. It's like you looking forward to pizza. Like I was big into comic books, coming up, and so it's like at that time you was an outcast. If you was like a geek, a nerd,
Hmm.
you wasn't like and so I'm looking forward to lunch. Like maybe I'll have a good day if I have pizza. So that kind of was my benchmark
Hmm.
every day. And now it's like geeks like rule the world now. So it's like that's a nice flip to
Yeah,
that.
funny how that funny how that's how that how that slipped. It's like you couldn't
Right.
really be out with that, or you kind
Hmm.
of had to, like
Yeah.
keep it
He's like, I'm gonna
under
hide my comic books,
keeping under the radar, or if you talked about it, you kind of talked about it like, in
Right.
general, like,
You
oh,
need
that
like one
movie came out.
confidential, you need one person to kind of, but if no one else was talking about it, it's like it was kind of hard to, you know, kind of flex about that.
Yeah,
So
it's like I couldn't really talk Star Wars at the Mean Girls table.
mhm.
The plastics weren't comprehending that, and I had to pass as one, so I couldn't
Right,
blow my cover. I mean, people,
right.
it's I could joke about it now, but back then it's like no, hard trying to,
Yeah.
it's like who you really are and
Right.
who the school dynamics try to make you out to be, because they
Mhm.
weren't very
Oh,
cool to
that was a
nerds.
dilemma, right? And so it's like I had to I had to like try to fight someone every like quarter, every semester, just to kind of stay cool, right? Because they knew I had comic books. They was like, oh, so I was like, let me like pick on someone that I know I could beat up, and then
Hmm.
then I remain like in that mid level, cool level. So it
But
worked.
did you trade any comics during lunch
Back then,
on
no,
the sly? I was gonna
no,
say
I
not no fit,
didn't.
not no fit like here, pass it under the table, you know.
It's wild because like I remember when I bought the Death of Superman, like I had the second printing of it, and like an idiot, I took it to school. I don't know why. It could have got stolen, like But it's like I was like kind of I had it like in the class. I remember just only that period of time. It was Death of Superman, Return of Superman, where I brought it in
Yeah.
class, right? And you had those 4 Supermans, Stephen, where they
I
was trying
still
to
have it
replace them.
sealed behind me on my wall
Oh,
because it had the
keep it.
stickers, the postcards. I also have the one where it
Wow.
has him
Don't
reaching out the
open that.
non. I'm not going to because hold on.
That's the only time I spoke openly in class. I'm glad you asked that because that's the only time because it was like a huge event. Death of Superman, Return of
Hmm.
Superman, and that I was like, I'm bringing out the comics. I'm talking
All
about
right,
it.
all right.
Who has this? And like that was a big conversation in school. Look at that,
I know he
awesome.
has like just this wall of just like
Oh, I'm gonna get my
stuff
display together. I just moved, but I got this bare wall. I'm about to. I'm inspired.
that looks like some of the, because I work in IT, so the IT area is nothing but everybody has their collectibles and their swag out. I mean, like
Yo.
everybody does, to the point where it's like you either need to nail some of your stuff down or
Mm-hmm.
wire it with an alarm in case, it grows legs or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, theme park casual. Yeah, I tried to be
That's
pretty,
the bet.
pretty, pretty much. It was kind of, hard. And then the
Back
ones where, oh well, she's really pretty. Guess what? She talked to me. I'm just like, bruh.
back then, you just trying to fit a role, right? It's like
Just
you know what I mean.
she's not your friend. She's not gonna be your girlfriend. I'm just gonna try to tell you right now. Just no, but she really likes it. All right. Can't say I didn't try. I didn't try to warn you.
I
Can't
did
say
I
I didn't
did
try.
I did have a question for you quickly. So like, and the thing
Mhm.
is, do you participate or help out with Geekosity at all, or are you just
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
guy
well,
who
yeah,
loves
yeah,
the scoops?
yeah, basically, yeah. Mikey Sutton, we know as the head of Geekosity, editor in chief, owner.
Yeah.
That's my business partner, right? So we kind of struck, a union, like last year, and I'm basically like their exclusive reporter. So when I do videos, promoting some of their articles, trying to drive traffic to the website, that's kind of where I fit in with Geekosity. And
Hmm.
I just did my first piece actually with them last week, an opinion piece about DC fandom. how it was terrible.
What?
So,
the fall and crash, right?
that was me.
Just made
That was
and
me.
crushed. Yeah.
That was that
That
was
was me.
something else.
It
That
was
was
so
me.
bad. Did you see the NFTs they were trying to pass out too? Like the little
No.
rotating. All right, they had little rotating discs that they were trying to pass out. Give me a sec, like to pass out if you signed up for like before it came out. Here, I'll show the Superman one. Here you go. It's right there for you, Lorena, in the video. They were giving out these. If you signed up for one, you would get one of these NFTs.
Are you serious?
Yep.
And they trying too hard. Like
They are. Yeah. Comic book covers galore. I got two of these. One was Harley Quinn zombies, and this one I was just like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
Well, that's
with
what NFT is. Like when people are gonna start realizing, like, if there's no real value to it, NFT means like jack. You know.
I came away my butt with it.
But that's my relationship with Geekosity is they got some cool writers, Kieran and Edwin. James is like the guy that does the website, and I said Mikey's the mastermind of all of it. And so that's where I fit it. Yeah, that was my article. James, the editor, James, he's like the super producer. He does lots for my videos as well. He named this, right? So I couldn't think of that as that grim. He thought of that name, Fall, Dismayed, and Crushed, but the rest of the words are mine. So GeekosityMag.com. Check them out. The website is blowing up, so keep checking it out.
Because I know Andre has mentioned it several times on Midnight's Edge, so that's where I heard Mike Sutton. I've heard who he was, and I'm like, dang, he's got a lot of cool stuff out there. So check that out. So
Mikey, man, he may be a hit, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know a lot. I'm learning about his personal life slowly. He may have something on everyone in the industry because he's getting these scoops, man.
He also gets how many like cease and desist does that man get too? Even we're just talking of an opinion, like the way the Marvel stuff, like your whole feed lately, like if on the site is nothing but No Way Home. That seems to be like the bread and butter of everything going on. But I am interested in that Magneto animated series that's going to be animated because that caught my eye. And for those that are sorry, where is it?
I think it's live action actually. I think it's actually live action, Steven. Yeah, the Magneto Disney Plus series. I think that's what you're talking about. That right there.
That one right there. Yeah. It's live action now.
Yeah, it's gonna be live action.
Really?
They're gonna get a new Magneto. They're gonna flex. I'm looking forward to that.
We'll see. We'll see what they do. Hey, film school rookie, how you doing? Oh, before I forget, I'm sorry, I got some news to share. And once I share it, you're gonna understand why I had to interrupt y'all. So apparently, my bae just came down with COVID.
Oh wow, my world is so crushed right now. Oh wow, let me go get a root beer.
All right,
did
saying.
He get it? Did he get it? His abs get it, or did his beard get it?
That is an excellent question. I don't care. The fact that
COVID, I have COVID.
So it's probably his abs.
Not Ronan, please, God, not Ronan. Quick, someone open the Stargate. We got to get a cure.
We can't have.
I'm sure he's very healthy right now.
He gets to stay home probably.
He's probably like,
and
I
chill
can just eat what I want, not shave, forget having to work out. I can just sit on my ass. Yeah, I know, Arwen. That's what I'm no Jason Momoa bare chested. No, I know.
They have to cover everything on him. They put masks on his nipples, his chest, everything. They want to make sure the Aquaman's protected, because the water is such a transmittable thing.
Just saying.
But
damn dolphins.
Of course, I'm sure he's okay. He's he's young. He's a healthy guy. He's probably like, okay. Guess what? I can get away from Amber Turd.
he's gonna go up to that clinic in Sweden that we all know Keith Richards.
Right, exactly when you said it. It popped up.
He's fine. He's going to Sweden. He's gonna go to that Keith Richard clinic and just change his blood out from another human being, and he'll be good.
But you know what? That brings me actually to something else. When you talk about DC. Actually, I personally have not ever been a huge DC fan. I think that's because my father was, and I just wanted to rebel, so I went to Marvel. But I just felt that I could identify more, like with Marvel, especially the X-Men. That was like
Yeah.
that was
Jim Lee's X-Men in the 90s. That was it.
Oh,
That
God.
was it right there. That
That
got
Those
me
was
comics.
poster issues were goss.
everything.
Yeah.
That was everything. I was just like, that's that right there. Mm,
That's your jam.
that was all that. That was my jam. And yeah, so I wasn't really. Oh, I see cable.
See? Oh,
I wasn't like into DC really that much. It's like there's a standard, okay, I know who Batman is. You know, that's Bruce Wayne. The 1960s Batman series, all that. Freaking love that. You know, Superman, saw the Superman movies, you know, kind of in general. So I wasn't really like into it, you know, that much.
How could you not like that guitar riff? It was done by a guy from Pantera.
From which
The opening
one?
theme for
Oh,
the
the
animated
cartoon show?
cartoon was done by
Oh,
a guy from
man.
Pantera.
I
Top
didn't
3
get to
animated.
that. People had
Oh.
told me about that show, but I hadn't gotten into it. I always heard good things about it. I just never really got into it. But like when you come with the movies, it's like I was mostly into the MCU. Then, you know, considering that Endgame. Anyway, if you know,
It's the
if you
end
know who
flame.
I am, you know why I'm pissed with Endgame. Although I know why it ended the way that they did, but I really did not like the fact that Tony Stark got shivved in Infinity War, because I think the whole theater heard me screaming when that happened. It was not pretty.
I think
I literally did that. I'm not freaking kidding. I
It's
literally
real.
started screaming in the movie theater when that happened. But
I think he went out beautifully, though. And as much as people have ifs or buts, I think that scene was shot great. And honestly, like Peter's reaction was one of the ones
when
that hit me the hardest in Endgame.
when it happened in Endgame,
In
yeah,
Endgame.
because I knew that was going to happen, even though I didn't like it. I knew that was what was going to have to happen in Infinity War because of the way that Iron Man started.
So you're talking this fight with Thanos. That's what you're talking about in Infinity War.
Yeah, in Infinity War, when he had the fight with Thanos. Yeah, I did not expect. Yeah, that I was totally.
I thought it was over right there. I was like,
I was like, what? And then when Stephen Strange was like, "Take me," I'm like, oh, shoot. It's like, which do I choose? Which of my kids do I choose?
Which one did the dishes today? Okay, you're staying.
So yeah, so it was like I could see it happening, kind of why that they had to do it, but I just wasn't too pleased with Endgame in general. But anyway, I was like, okay, I'm done with that. Let's see, what DC has to do. And I watched Batman versus Superman and wanted to take a hostage because I did not like it. What? And then somebody told me to go back and watch the
Ultimate Edition.
That's what they told me to go back and watch. So I'm like, okay, that's when I went back and I watched that, and I said, okay, because I did not like Man of Steel. I did not like it. It's like, call me superficial. I really don't care, but I do not believe that Clark Kent would have let his father
die. That's a big point with a lot of people.
I did not.
Now, teenage Clark Kent. And maybe was that in the storytelling that it didn't really get that across, that this is a teenage Clark who's not fully powered yet.
Yeah.
And, he's still learning that lesson. His father's like, no, you got to grow. But anyway, go ahead.
It was kind of like, because again, call me a purist, because, with the first Superman movie, and I think that's because my father had watched the comics and he had read the comics. So finding out, Clark seeing his father die of a heart attack, and there's nothing that he could do about it, no matter how powerful he was, that was very powerful in itself, because it's like you can't control everything, no matter how powerful you are. And I felt like that lesson was lost in Man of Steel when the tornado. I was just like,
that.
I just couldn't deal with that.
Raina, you
I
make
could agree.
you make a brilliant point, and
Yep.
it is true. If what they chose as a scene for the loss of Clark's father was incorrect, and that's what kind of threw a lot of people off. A heart attack, you cannot control the lifespan of a being.
Mhm.
You can try to spin the Earth back on its axis and reverse time, as we saw with Lois, and that in the movie. But the tornado, yeah, it's
It
not the
just
same impact.
no,
Interesting choice. Yeah.
it's
with
it just
that.
like pretty much tainted, how
Yeah.
I viewed the rest of it. But
Mm.
the Ultimate Edition for Batman versus Superman, I actually like that. I actually
Mhm.
like that one. It made that movie much better to watch. Now, Justice League, that was ass.
Oh,
For
let's not
real.
talk about
I
that.
saw
For
that
real.
and I'm like, I do not want to look at another. Besides, okay, take Wonder Woman out the picture because I freaking love the Wonder Woman movie. But
Right.
Justice League was ass.
And that's 2017 Justice
Yes, the
League.
Justice League. Because I'm like,
Trash.
why
Hot
Wasn't the
does
trash.
this
Justice
movie
League?
suck so bad? Because I'm just like, something does not
Dude,
make
that mouth.
sense.
You saw that mouth of Henry Cavill. You knew something wasn't right. But you saw
It's
What
like
the
if
hell?
somebody
That's the
like
first-
me
the first
who
scene
is
in the movie.
not into DC can look at that movie and say something ain't right, then it's not freaking right with that. And that's when I started to hear about the Snyder Cut
Mhm.
movement. So since you're into that really,
Mhm.
really deep,
Yeah.
what was your initial impression when you started hearing about release of Snyder Cut?
Yeah, like great segue there. Because BVS, it's all tied to BVS 2016. When BVS came out in theaters, I was fighting people on Facebook about how I thought it was a masterpiece, right? And then we got the ultimate cut, and we know what happened with that. That kind of fixed the movie,
Right.
ultimate cut. So leading into that, you're hearing that Zach is getting, at that time we just said, he's leaving because of the family tragedy. He couldn't
Hmm.
finish Justice League.
Right.
So this film's coming up there, and Warner Bros. Is lying to us the whole time. It's still Zach's vision. Whatever you saw in BVS, like it's going to continue into Justice League. You get to the film, like I said, first scene, I was like, this is not Zach's film. This is not Zack Snyder's film. And at that time, I'm just in a few little Facebook groups, like,
Hmm.
and then you start kind of seeing more people realizing, like on Twitter, on YouTube. And yeah, that's the shot right there. First scene of the movie in Justice League.
Oh, like this.
I'm like, hold up.
You notice that his chin looks like the fuzzy peach emoji in the chat?
I'm
What
like,
emoji
hold
is that?
up.
I'm Super Chin. Let's save the day.
So what-
Come with
I
me,
just said,
Lois.
who is this guy and what have you done?
like, why?
That chin was called. Did you know the chin was called Martha on the set too?
Oh my god.
No, I did not know
No,
that.
it wasn't actually called Martha. Why'd you say that name?
So I started connecting with people early 2018. I started getting on Twitter more and on Vero of all places. I just heard of Vero because of Zack Snyder, and
Right.
Fiona is a name that pops up a lot with the Snyder Cut movement.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
yeah, she's this wonderful woman in China who Zach corresponded with very early and says, "Yo, I have a cut. That's not my cut." And she started promoting that on social media. And we all just kind of found each other on Twitter. Like, I was very kind of quiet for the first year or two. But I was just following people, retweeting, release a Snyder Cut, all that stuff. Because it was a cut. Like, there was a different movie. It literally was a different movie out there that existed, and we didn't see it, right? So it was like this holy grail, right?
Right.
And then, 2018, we thought it was coming. And I don't know if something happened with Warner Brothers or whatever, but that's when AT&T bought Warner Brothers. Long story short with that. And so from that point, we're just kind of, we're clamoring for it. There's all these different campaigns, tweet campaigns, banners. Like, it was so much legwork done. People was going up to strangers saying, "Hey, you know about the Snyder Cut?" They're like, "No, what are you talking about?" Like in 2019. They're like, what are you talking about? But the awareness was put out there. And AT&T realized it. They greenlit it the late 2019. As we're finding out, in retrospect, we're finding out they greenlit it in 2019. Mikey Sutton actually scooped that, which is weird. He scooped that it was coming out on HBO Max. that Warner Brothers hates the idea, but AT&T superseded them. So it was announced May 2020. Snyder Cut's going to be released. It was like elation. But again, the whole time Warner Brothers is like, we hate this idea, but we got to put it out because our bosses are telling us to put it out. But yeah, just up to that point, it was just all about, I got a chance to meet like a whole community of people, like I said, from China. Like I got a chance to talk to Fiona a couple of times. People in different countries. Like it's called a global phenomenon now. Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's literally how it was. We all found each other because we knew we had this common interest, and we knew like we wasn't getting our movie. There's something out there, and it finally was released. So it's like that's history. That's historic right there.
I just know for me, granted, I wasn't into DC. I was kind of done with the MCU with Endgame. But as a Star Wars fan, I was pissed off with how Disney was treating the fans. So to see what was going on with the Snyder Cut, not only were there fans saying it, but you had some of the actors that were coming out there, like Jason Momoa, like Gal Gadot, talking about, release the Snyder Cut. And then you had other major brands jumping into it. I think even Subway was like, release the Snyder
Subway
Cut,
jumped
right?
into it. Like, and you mentioned that day too, because there was November 2019. We had Subway. It was another one. I hate to forget who this other company was.
Popeyes?
But I don't know if it was Popeyes. I don't think that was a chicken sandwich when they tweeted.
Oh, sorry, I got hungry.
That's when Ben Affleck tweets release a Snyder Cut. At that point, I was like, oh, we're getting this movie. We get Ben Affleck tweeting this.
Before I forget, because I don't mean to cut you off. Before I forget, one of the biggest things that Zack Snyder ever did was sell to me Ben Affleck as Batman, because I did not believe it.
Why'd you say that name?
I did not believe it.
I didn't like it at first
want to
either.
believe it, but then I saw it and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When Ben Affleck was announced, I probably still have this post on Facebook. I was like, WTF, that's what I thought from that.
I think it was also around the time too. A lot of people didn't, I think, know that Batfleck in general was a huge comic book nerd and actually read a lot of the Batman comics.
Didn't know,
Yes, and he had a lot of that knowledge, and I think it's better getting him than Matt Damon.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine Matt Damon?
No, I don't want to imagine that. It took me the first scene with Ben Affleck for him to sell. He sold me as Bruce Wayne first.
Yeah,
because like the buildings are tumbling and everyone's running from the debris and he's running to it.
Yeah,
I was like that's freaking Batman right there.
Yeah,
he would do that, and I was sold, and he's my favorite Batman of all time now. So
he's my second.
That warehouse scene, Lorraine.
I love Michael Keaton. That's just one of those.
That
just
warehouse
like,
scene.
Michael Keaton is number one. Ben Affleck is second.
We're gonna watch the warehouse after this show is over. I'm gonna pull up the warehouse scene. I want you to abridge that list.
I can't because for me it's like Michael Keaton. But besides, Adam West, that's a whole different category that just can't touch that. But yeah, Michael Keaton, I loved him as Batman. George Clooney hated him as Batman. No,
Kilmer was good for that one film.
Kilmer was okay.
He was actually good.
He was all right. Christian Bale, I don't think I ever really warmed to him, besides the fact that he was tall. That was probably like
about the voice.
About it. That might have threw me off. It was kind of like,
where are the drugs?
I don't know.
So Skywalker.
You have Skywalker, the
Skywalker.
Skywalker. Oh, okay.
Skywalker. I know. I used to call him that too, and he corrected me. Skywalker.
Oh, okay. All right. I feel so bad that I accidentally messed it up. I'm sorry.
That's what it looks like. Skywalker. It looks like Skywalker.
It does. But cool how you spelled that. So we have Skywalker, the Jedi, for $5. Thank you so very much, my dear, for that super chat. Digging this stream with the fire emojis. Well, thank you. Might have to sub over here as well. Coming through to show some love for my boy Syl. Hashtag some black guy. I certainly do hope that that I've earned your stop distract me fast Steven. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. that's another reason why I love Zack Snyder. Uh, well, thank you so much. Yes, I met Syl actually over on the Dark Council because I produced the Dark Council show. So Syl kind of dropped on, over there, and loved what he had to say. So had to get him on the schedule to
Appreciate
come
it.
on over here. So I'm so glad he's here, and
Definitely.
thank you so much for that super chat.
She sub Skywalker.
But that's totally completely forgot what I was
That
going to
totally
say.
threw you through your whole thought.
It totally. I'm sorry. Him walking out, pulling the sweater off. He's drinking the. He's starting. You just see him like it's ice, and he just goes under. It's just like God. It's one of the hottest
It's like,
things.
is this
I've ever
my
seen in life.
dream or is this a
Yeah, I
movie?
know.
That's what you was
I
thinking.
told people I completely check out, and I just look when I watch that part. It's like, yeah, he's the guy who talks to
Well,
fish.
shout out
is
to the
actually awesome.
chat. As soon as Lorena gets she's disoriented right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I'll be back. Yes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Over 16 of you, and please do hit that
Like
like
button.
Mm-hmm.
Hit like she's
That-
hitting the
that
like with her
button.
eyes right now.
That button.
Hit that button.
Hit the Momoa button.
Hit that Momoa like the abs they are. Yes, I say.
But for real though, so I'm gonna ask you, what do you think of Sparkle Batman?
Oh man. It's a mixed feelings, right? Because it's all about it's connected with the fandom as well too, the Snyder fandom, because Ben Affleck was supposed to have the solo Batman film, right? That was always been discussed.
Right.
After Justice League, Ben Affleck, thankfully he's recovered, but he was like about to drink himself to death because it was just a shit show at that time, and so now he was out of that project. They went forward with Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I'm not feeling the cow. Like I just, it's almost like his face for some reason is a very punchable face. Seeing Pattinson
he does.
and that's in that cow, and I just like I just he's gonna have to sell me.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't sold me yet. I'm just like, okay, this is a Batman movie. It feels like another Christopher Nolan Batman Begins. That's literally what it feels like.
Right.
And we just had that. So he's working uphill for me right now. Yeah.
He has the aesthetic and the facial structure of Terry McGinnis, and they should have gone with a Batman Beyond because he looks exactly like Terry McGinnis. He also has the thin body type. Terry McGinnis had the thin body type, but he also had the suit help him. It made him more agile.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what they did is they're making James Dean Batman. He wants to be known as whatever it is.
Right,
James Dean of Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to work out.
Swear to me. Swear to a weightlifting system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very mixed. But it's Batman, so I think it's gonna sell because it's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
It's a hard tell. I know for me because I actually met Robert Pattinson when he was Cedric Diggory on Harry Potter. I kid you not. I was over in the UK, right? Poor guy. He hardly had anybody at his table. He was so skinny. I'm like, oh my gosh. This is before he was playing the Sparkle Vampire and all that. So then when he got announced as Batman, I'm like, that guy. Mm-hmm. And I think I was like, okay, well, maybe if he bulks up to do it, maybe that'll work. But then I started hearing about him saying he didn't have to work out and all of that. And to me, that kind of felt like that was some serious disrespect for the character because it's not like you're playing some extra, you're playing flipping Batman.
Batman.
I mean, I would give you props if it's just like, you know what? I'm working out because I really want to be, my best because this is Batman. But that just really kind of turned me off a little bit. We'll see what happens. It's like I'll give it a shot. But yeah, for me, I like Ben Affleck better.
Yeah.
As Batman, I really don't like them kind of doing this. And that's when I started hearing about this whole, restore the Snyderverse. movement that's going on, because it's very obvious, and I'm forgetting what the heck that chick's name is over at Warner Brothers, because there's that
And
internal
Sarnoff.
war between Ann Sarnoff between Warner Brothers and and AT&T, and they're like, we're
Right.
going in this more diverse and inclusive direction, and we're not considering doing anything else with regards to Zack Snyder. It's like, well, why not? Because if there's somebody like me, who I'm not a huge DC fan, but the Snyder Cut was extremely enjoyable. I mean, it was like 4 hours. I didn't feel like I was bored or anything. It was just
Exactly.
great. The
The fastest 4
visuals
hours ever.
were stunning. I mean, the color palette was darker than I would have, wanted, but that's kind of
That's
like
a
neither
style.
that, that's a stylistic choice. But otherwise, it was great to watch. I had a great time. I liked watching that better than I did Infinity War, but that's just me. But it's like, if you have people like me who are kind of somewhat normies with that, and we're into that, it's like, why do you not want to continue?
Exactly. And a big sticking point with that, like you said, with Ann Sarnoff, the weekend the Snyder Cut came out in March of 2021, she was like, yeah, we're closing out Zach's arc. It's over. Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League, story's over. But you see the end of the Snyder Cut, it's setting up this. It's a stare down between Superman and Darkseid.
Yes.
Like, why we want that fight? Like that's what Zach is trying to give us in the next Justice League movie or the third one. That was his plan. So when it comes down to that Civil War, Ann Sarnoff says this in March. 2 months later, we hear about a merger that's basically going to supplant Ann Sarnoff and whoever is the top execs in Warner Media. Right. They're bringing in Discovery, right? They're going to go and handle all the media and entertainment properties. So it almost doesn't matter what Ann Sarnoff says. It's all about this merger when it closes, hopefully by April of 2022. They will be the ones to decide, and that's why this whole Restore the Snyderverse, because we have a chance to get more. That's really what it's all about. We have a chance to get more. We needed like a divine intervention to do that. We got this merger, so that's your answers from the heavens, people, because new management's coming in. So it's going to move out the people that are saying it's over. Let's see what the new people have to say. Next spring.
Because money wise, because I have Discovery Plus, that's like the best $4.99 that I've spent on a platform just for all the stuff, all the stuff that's on it, and the shows that they produce. What we don't talk about, like 90 Day Fiance. That's hot reality show garbage that I love. That's kind of like a different thing. But everything from, like, especially their true crime specials, all of that, they're used to producing a lot of quality content that people really want to consume. So I'm really hoping that will actually help continue more Zack Snyder stuff, because
I hope they're smart about it. Like,
I hope they are.
The Blu-rays are flying off the shelf, right? Like, when the Snyder Cut, came on physical media, I mean, it crushed numbers on HBO Max. Like, I talked to people from like Spain, and on Twitter, you meet people from everywhere, Ecuador, and like they were saying their HBO service was crashing when the Snyder Cut came out because of the demand, the worldwide demand, and then it's flying off the shelves. Physical media. That's money. That's money. I mean, any new company coming in, if you see something selling, you don't gotta be a fan of it. Just say, hey, this is gonna make me money. Okay, do more of that.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna ask you about the MCU. Most notably, a certain movie coming out, which this is probably the first trailer for an MCU movie that I looked at, and I just said, basically, why is this in existence? And that's the Eternals. What is this supposed to be about?
Oh man,
wasting money.
That's the question, right? What is this?
I mean,
right?
Shang-Chi, granted, I had not heard of Shang-Chi ever. I was like, he's in the comics, right? And people were telling me, yeah, he's in the comic. I'm like, okay, all right,
Mhm.
but there's kung fu stuff in it.
Yeah.
It looks okay. I'll check it out. So it was a good popcorn flick, to
Enjoyable.
watch, whether you were a normie that were into kung fu or you were into Marvel, and you're just like, I know I've seen this guy
Mhm.
somewhere. Let me go check my stash and read up on who this guy was. But the Eternals, it was just looking like, who are these people? Why do we care? And how come they couldn't stop Thanos?
Right, if they like these powerful beings out there, and I think they mentioned in the trailer, like Thanos snapped half the world. I'm like, well, then what are you guys were doing? What were y'all doing? Like when Captain America's like getting his head beat in by
Yeah,
Thanos, like where were y'all at? You had to wait for the portals to open for everyone else to come in.
they were probably taking bets in Vegas. Is what they're
I know,
doing.
it's like I think he's not gonna make it. Yeah, so
Mm-mm.
it's like it's crazy. But you bring up a good point about the familiarity, right? Because like Shang-Chi, I knew that character from the Iron Fist comics. Maybe Steven Seagal has old comics of that as well too. But it's
No.
but I remember that's how I remember Shang-Chi. But he's not like this mainstream name, right? So, but it worked. Kung Fu, bright colors, funny stuff. Like it was cool.
Well,
Yeah.
Shang-Chi's
wasn't
cool.
Shang-Chi technically based off Bruce Lee in general, and that's what it was?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a kung fu comic, but with supernatural underneath it.
Well, yeah, because the comic book, there's one major comic book they're going to reference. According to Mikey Sutton, that's the scoop. The next film is going to reference. It's going to have Shang-Chi versus Iron Fist, right? And that's going to reference Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris.
Mhm.
The whole dynamic. That's what they were doing in the comics, having your Bruce Lee, having your Chuck Norris, which is Iron Fist, really, and the blonde guy with kung fu, right? So it's like that was the nature, but it worked. That Shang-Chi worked. Eternals, no one knows who this is, right? Lorena, you're not the only one, right?
Okay,
No
I thought it was me there for a minute. I thought I
no
was
one
having
knows
a
these
blonde
characters.
moment or something.
Yeah, like, no one knows these characters, right? So you have to sell us off of star powers, or Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek. Maybe
Yeah.
that would get people, to
Rob
to come to
Stark.
the movie.
Oh, John Stark, sorry.
Right. So I think that's what it's going to be. They're hoping that the star power will draw people to this film. I'm actually hearing it's tracking well, this Eternals film.
Okay.
So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I'm probably gonna go see it during a matinee showing, maybe just so I can get the loyalty points.
There you go. They get those points. Yeah.
Just to,
I may see it on a Tuesday. It's $5 Tuesdays out here in Kentucky, and I'll do the $5 show.
I might actually see it the day before. I think it's like it'll release the night before. I think like on a Thursday. I
Thursday premiere.
may fall on that bullet.
See, I may do it only probably for the content, Lorena, at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's because it's content. It's amazing how many
Yeah.
people will watch your
People are gonna
stuff.
want to talk about
To
it.
watch the pain that you're in. That you went to go see. Thank you so much, TJ and the
Shout out to
Joes
TJ.
for subscribing. I certainly do appreciate that. But it's from what I understand, I guess with the Eternals that is in the movie is nothing like the Eternals from Marvel Comics, from what I understand. It's not even based on, I think it's a Jack Kirby thing, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's Jack Kirby, who also did
Okay.
New Gods for DC. So he's very, that's his
I have
type
some.
of
I have some of
material.
those. Yeah, I do have some of those books somewhere too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It just amazes me just when they do these movies, some of them just completely, well, I'll say willful ignorance, forget, what happened, with the comics. It's like they just want to come out with something
creative
else,
choices, right? Is what
Yeah,
they kind of
exactly.
say.
It's a creative choice, but it's like you would think that you would want to bring in that built-in fan base from the comics into it. So
I will say though,
we'll
of a lot of the properties, Eternals is probably the one to take those liberties though, only because I don't think the fan base will be as big from the comics. So you really you're trying to do like a whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing. They changed everything about Guardians for the theaters, and they may do the same thing with Eternals. It may hit, we'll see.
I will say, because Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't even know who the heck they
At
were
all.
at all. And then I saw the movie and I was in tears. I'm like, okay, I got to check out and see
That was a good
who
movie.
this is. My niece, who was just like, I don't like Marvel. I don't. Well, she's not into comics at all. She thinks I'm weird, right? She's like, I don't like Marvel, but she liked Guardians of the Galaxy. Go figure.
Hey.
I don't know how I don't know how that worked. But folks, please do subscribe to Syl Abdul. We are trying to get him to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So please do subscribe to him, put the link out, all of that. Appreciate that. Syl, you want to tell people what you have coming up so folks can
Definitely,
be aware of it?
definitely. Yeah, that's the channel there, Syl Abdul Inc. That's the goal is 2K before 22. We try to come up with catchy names, but this channel here is it's hardcore DC is like the main drive of what we're doing. Any Zack Snyder updates, so whatever he's doing with Netflix, we talk about that as well on the channel. And anytime Warner Bros messes up is something else that we highlight a lot.
Okay.
On
Kind
the
of like
show.
how I am with Disney and Lucasfilm
Exactly.
and Marvel.
Well, that's why I watch y'all. Like I really pattern a lot off of because y'all go for the throat, right? So when they mess up, it's good to have those platforms that talk about it, right? So that gets it out there. And so yeah, coming up, we're ramping up a lot of content because we're trying to push up, like I said, the 2K. I have Mikey Sutton on there a lot. He is like I call him Scooper Supreme, right? Instead of like Doctor Strange's Sorcerer Supreme, he's Super Supreme, Mikey Sutton. Only because this guy has been right about tens and hundreds of things already. So my members videos, if y'all become a member over there, we do exclusive scoops from Mikey. That's that top bar right there. And then we do weekly shows, mostly DC. I do have a second channel as well, and that's more catered towards MCU and Star Wars. That's stillabdul.com. But it's a link in this channel too. So that's the main channel I want y'all to get to. And if you want to talk more outside of DC, I have a second channel for that. Yeah, it's ramping up, going into November. I got a little more time on my hands, so that's why I was able to be here with Reina, and we're gonna try to do more. So shout out to everyone supporting it.
Okay, awesome, folks. So yeah, please do subscribe to Syl. Of course, he is also on Twitter, so please do check him out on Twitter as well. And I know it's like who to say, Cavitano. Yeah, where did the hour go? It just it flies. it really that whole hour just flies because we just have so much fun here talking with our guests and all of that. So before we roll out, Fat Steven, what do you have going on today? Let the folks know.
Well, we have we have Pop Culture Minefield coming up, as well as it's also, I forgot to say this, I was going to save it to the end. Stone Loki's birthday celebration is also today because his birthday is also on the clock. So shout out to my brother Stone Loki. Hey! I will be popping up on that stream. And yeah, come check out my channel. Yeah, Loki. Loki, yeah, Loki. All about that Loki. Come up and check out my channel. We do a lot of gaming. Babylon 5. Farscape won the poll. So Tuesday, I'm going to be looking for a new panel to start the Farscape show like we do Babylon 5. I'm going to be trying to reach out to Patricia Tallman and invite her back on for another chat like we did before. Other than that, give me your subs. Give me all your subs. Just give them to me, like bacon bits and cheeseburgers. And she's going to mute me. Just give me the angry look. Have a great day. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Syl. You are definitely a pleasant environment to be around, sir. Why is he shrinking?
Absolutely, my dear. We will have to actually have you back for like a longer show.
Ooh, or Reina, you may come to my show actually next month, right?
We need to get that. Please get that on my calendar like now, like when we wrap up, so we can talk about that. So, folks, in about I want to say maybe 30 minutes or so after I inhale some lunch, you can catch me over on Midnight's Edge. So I'm going to drop over there for Midnight's Edge in the morning. And let's see, Saturday, no theme park stream for me because it's a Halloween weekend. I'm kind of doing stuff doing all kinds of stuff. But if you are a channel member, Sunday, 8 p.m., I will be doing a live stream from Disney's Hollywood Studios for Halloween, especially for channel members. So if you're a member of my channel at any level, we are going to be streaming live. So see you guys, y'all are members on Halloween for that live stream, folks. So folks, take care. So glad you guys are here with us today, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Is she shrinking too?
Maybe after all that sugar.
Momoa's abs were sponsoring this. Let me tell you something.